Hey guys, Jess with Sass and Crafts, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to cut the sunflower in half and have some writing to the right of it. Just to give you an example, something along the lines of this, where I made the sunflower, cut it in half, and then I went to Google and found some patriotic quotes and just added them in there and added some embellishments and called it a day. So you're going to start with this sunflower flag, and if you don't know how to do this, be sure to watch my tutorial on how to make the sunflower flag in Silhouette Studio, where I walk you through step by step on how to do this. It's really easy, but to save time, I'm going to basically pick up where I left off, and I have my flag, sunflower, but what I need to do now is cut it in half. Now, I don't want to try and figure out what half of 8.446 is, so to make life easier on myself, I'm going to make sure that my proportions are locked. That way, when I change the width to a nice round number, my flower is going to go to where it needs to be height-wise too. Height, whatever. Okay, and then I need to move it. You'll see up here, 0 to 12 is highlighted because that is the size of our canvas. I want my image to be all the way to the left at 0. That way I know when I go to 5, I'm going to be cutting straight down the center of that sunflower. Then I'm going to go to the left over here and grab my knife. And then I'm going to go up and see where that little line is at the top along the ruler. I'm going to line it up on that 5 as best as I can, right in the middle. And then I'm going to click on my knife, and at the same time, I'm going to hold the Shift key, because that is going to keep my, did you see how it started to stray a little bit? Holding the Shift key down will ensure that you have a straight cut anytime you are cutting something. Same works too if you're trying to draw a line. Just holding down that Shift key will ensure that you have a straight line. So then it is going to basically cut the sunflower in half. And depending on how in detail your image is, it can take a few minutes, or it can be relatively quick like it was this time and cut it in half. I'm gonna make sure I go over, grab my little arrow. Now, what happens though when you cut this in half is it basically, it releases the compound path. So in other words, it basically breaks it apart. It was a solid image before we cut it, but now you'll notice it's basically broke apart all of the paths for the sunflower to follow. So you'll just need to, basically what I do is I try to highlight as much as I can of that left sunflower. And then when I see it like pop over to the other side, I know I've gone too far. So sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error, trying to get it as close to the center as you can. And then I'll move it. And it looks like I got most of it. So then what I will do is now I will go highlight all of it again, and now I'm going to group it. That way I don't have to worry about little pieces, coming off or whatnot. I don't need this anymore, so I am going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to put this here. And then next part's easy. You just I'll just do something simple. Type in whatever words you want. I tend to do each word individually as its own text path. That way I can manipulate it a little bit better if I need to. And so I've got what I want. Then I don't need the trace box for some reason. It's up there. I'm going to change my font. Magnolia Sky and Hello Sunday seem to be like my favorites. I love them. Here's Magnolia Sky. This seems to be like a really popular one. So really it's just, you know, personal preference. So I'm gonna go with Magnolia Sky just because it's nice and bold and bright. Okay. Now what I need to do though is I wanted to show you, especially if you've ever tried to cut on your silhouette or even your Cricut, if you're kind of following this for the Cricut instead, you'll notice that if you were to cut your vinyl, you see how that L goes into the E and the E goes into the S? That's going to cut out those little individual pieces. We don't want that. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we weld so it makes it one solid shape, basically. That's what welding is doing. It's basically making it into a shape instead of text. So I'm just going to weld all of my pieces. Was there anything up here? Yep. Oop. Object. Weld. All right. And then I'm going to change my color. Yeah, I can grab all of that. Turn it black. I need to turn my outline black. And then just go down to America, turn that black, or whatever color you'd like. And there you go. And then you can move these around to position them where you would like them to be. So now you can do this, you know, keep it a solid color, or you could go over into your panel over here and you can fill it with a pattern, you know, so for example, you know, you can see how it turned it to that. So, you know, you could go and find like, you know, a flag pattern basically, and, you know, make those words, you know, into red, white, and blue if you so chose to. But I am going to also do a tutorial on how to do that with the remaining image of the sunflower that we didn't use. So, and then I'm going to line this up wherever I want it. Actually, I'm going to group all of that together. And then I'm just going to add some stars. And you'll see that it's not a perfect star, but so you just got to slide your little scale, just, if you know, depending on how far over you slide it, it'll give you that many points. I want a 5-pointed star, but then I want to squeeze it in just a little. So that's when I'll move that little red dot right there. And actually, I'm going to make a few of these, Control C, and just kind of Control V a few of them. And then you can obviously make these, you know, any size that you want. And then I like to make sure that my colors match what I already have in the image. So then I can go over, and that little thing right there is an eyedropper. And I'll click on that. And let's say I want to take that blue. And it remembers that. And so now I can make that star the same color blue as what's already in the flag. And I'll do the same over here. Grab that little dropper, and I'll do red. And what's nice is when you choose a color, your colors are always there in the order that you've done them. So I know that you know, that red and blue are the same colors that are in my flag here. So, you know, I don't have to keep going for that eyedropper to grab the color that I want, because the program remembers that I used that particular color. And then I'll grab some hearts, just a few little hearts. Change that to bread. And there you go. Just a general, idea of how you can do this. Very easy. I hope you found this tutorial valuable, and I hope that you will click on subscribe. That way you are alerted to, excuse me, other videos that I have put out. With that said, though, I am going to say goodbye, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.